Okay, so I must have bumped that with the bush hog here this summer. I try to get a little trail into every blind, so now it's off maybe a foot or so. So I'm gonna try to winch it out with the Polaris. Hey, good morning. Okay, here we are, October 24th, and CJ Schickster wanted me to give him an update on the Milo. So right now I'm up here right by our pole barn, and this patch here was the latest planted one and the smallest one of all of them, and it's just now starting to put some heads on it. Let me find a few and I'll show you. You see all of these are starting to head out, and these are much smaller than around the farm. I didn't think these were even going to get heads on them, but they're starting to now. All right, so this is the absolute worst. Let's go check some of the other ones. Okay, and here's two more patches still right by the driveway. So you can see they're getting better and better. You see all the heads popping up here. Not quite huge seed heads, but there's a lot better patches around the farm. And this one here, it's kind of fun to watch them. Every day there's more seed heads that are popping up. So this may actually prove to be a success, planting them even in August. You can see down there, it's starting to fill out nicely. Let's go check the really good ones. Okay, we're still by the barn, but just for reference, these are doing pretty decent, but I know there's going to be a lot better ones here. Okay, so I must have bumped that with the bush hog here this summer. I try to get a little trail into every blind, so now it's off maybe a foot or so. So I'm going to try to winch it out with the Polaris. I'm setting up my cameras. I mean, yeah, I'm way late, but if this plot takes off, it'll still be a decent spot anyways. This ought to be interesting. Come on, there it goes. Nice. All right, here's just kind of a straight patch. These are doing pretty good. Let's keep going. So here's a patch right next to one of my larger green plots. You see there's one of our deer towers, and they're still coming up yet. But I'm gonna say 80% of them are popped up, 70 or 80%. So if we could just hold off from freezing another week or two, I think we're gonna be golden. Okay, so now it's a little wobbly. So now I gotta work on getting it to level again. Now that some of the weeds are dead, here's some loblollies coming up. So these are the ones that I planted actually a couple of years ago now. So there's not a ton of them, but you could see them in here now. Just wanted to make an extra area of cover down here. Now we're at the edge of the woods. There's one of my wood towers, and here's that last Milo plot that ain't gonna do nothing. Here's another patch. This one I don't think we're gonna get much heads out of. I think it was late planted, and I think it's gonna freeze out before this one will have time to get much for heads on it. I mean, they're starting to form the seed heads, but this one I think is gonna strike out. Here's a small strip in between on the right, that's a fall plot. And on the left, this is one of my clover chicories that I redid. I mean, this stuff will keep growing in this one without brassicas, because they're a cool season plant mix I got in here. But another Milo plot that ain't gonna do anything. This dirt wasn't that good in this spot, so these are definitely gonna time out. But everything's an experiment. It's just, I mean, just heartbreaking, some of these fall plots. Let's keep going. And here's a pretty nice Milo patch. This is down getting towards the south end of the farm. Some of these heads are pretty good on them. And this is going to be butted up to a one of the larger green plots that wasn't doing anything but has recently started. But this is going to be a really nice Milo patch here. Got some decent sized heads on some of these. And here we're coming up to the green plot, which is pretty thin. Oh, there's a deer. I was telling CJ I'm gonna be bumping deer out of here, and he's like, no, you ain't gonna have no deer in there. Looks like a doe. Can't tell for sure, but it's down in the little thicker area of the green plot. There it goes. Yeah, not much happening here. I mean, we've got some germination on the green plot, but not a ton. Here's a small patch. You could see down here a lot of it froze, the brown stuff, because it's in a little bit lower spot. But you know, we got some heads up here. We're in the center of the property towards the south end. There's my triangle plot, and here is one of the bigger green plots. This one's doing, I guess, so-so right here. But we got a really nice patch of Milo up there. Sheesh. Pretty pathetic here. Got some decent heads coming out here. Yeah, some of these are pretty nice, nice size seed heads. Okay, and these are just a few trail cam pics from this spot right here. This is kind of the north end of this green patch. I'm contemplating trying to get a ladder stand in these trees to the right, or a tower blind. Don't know if time will allow or not, but at least we have a little bit of food on this north end. Kind of cutting across here. I'm going to come out by the duck pond. There's the duck pond. Which, I mean, there's seed heads on that, but they're not very large. But there is seed heads on it. I need to finish this dam up and get this thing flooded pretty soon. I'm trying to let it grow as long as it's gonna grow before we freeze out. Well, I mean, there's some green here, but not a ton. There's also a lot of weeds in this one.